Hello Dogs fans, welcome to another episode of After the Dogs Roar for season 2016. Now this episode is for after round 22, and can you believe it, we only have one round to go until the finals commence. It is getting so very exciting now. However, we can't drop the ball this week because, well, we've got a crucial game which will decide whether we get a home final or not. Of course, we are still a tad chance of finishing in the top four as well, but you would have to agree with me that that is quite unlikely. But anyway, in this show, I'm going to be overviewing the round 22 clash V Essendon before giving you my votes, of course, for the After the Dogs Roar Best and Fairest Award. A stats wrap-up is coming up for after round 22. Of course, there's only one round to go before the stats are complete. I'm also going to be overviewing our VFL round 20 clash v Werribee, which is our second last game of the season. And then this is going to be exciting. I'm going to be flashbacking to one of the most memorable games of the modern era, I guess, and that is the round 21 2000 clash v the undefeated Essendon at that point. That was at Colonial Stadium in Docklands. So looking forward to flashbacking that. Of course, I got some good and mixed feedback on last week's first audition of that segment. So I've fine-tuned it a little bit, and I tell you what, I feel like the flashback segment this week is improved. I'm hoping that you'll all like it. And then the show will finish off with a preview of round 23 v Fremantle. Like I mentioned, this game is a crucial one. So let's get stuck into the show. We start with an overview of our round 22 clash v the Bombers. So on Sunday twilight, we were versing Essendon in our round 22 clash, which was at Etihad Stadium. It was Essendon's home game, and this was a crucial game, as I've mentioned in the last couple of weeks, or last episode at least, and of course at the start of this episode. But anyway, I thought we were a bit shaky in the first 5 minutes of the game. Bombers did kick the first goal, but then after that we were able to kick the next 6 goals. Dixon kicked the first of those 6 goals, first 2 of those 6 goals I should say, and I thought in the first quarter, after that Bombers first goal, we really did dominate time in the forward half. A lot of it was rewarded, and we had a good 30-point lead, well-deserved 30-point lead at quarter time. I thought we were magnificent in the first quarter and really did get off to a good start against the competitive Bombers. They have been competitive, especially in the second half of the season and at various points this season. Of course, they did win their clash last week with the Gold Coast Suns. We actually kicked We actually kicked 7 goals in a row after that Bombers' first goal, because Picken kicked the first of the second term, which didn't come until the 7th minute mark of the second quarter. Then after that point, the Dons broke the drought and kicked their second goal of the game finally. It was interesting, at the 12th minute mark of that game, they had 7 behind, so they were being quite accurate, and I thought we were lucky that they weren't closer to us than what the lead suggested. We had a good lead, but they could have been closer if they had taken their shots wisely. I think Danaher was just spraying them with his stupid banana shot and his inaccurate kicking, which, you know, he's a good player, he's a good mark, but his kicking is just shocking. He's probably one of the worst kicks in the comp. But anyway, they had 7 behind, so they were quite woeful in front of goals. I guess that's lucky from our point of view. Don's got 2 in a row at one point in the second quarter, but we were able to hit back through Zane Cordy, and yeah, it was a interesting second quarter. I thought Essendon did take it up to us, and well, they only trailed by 22 points, Essendon, at half time. So Cooney actually kicked a goal in that second quarter, which was ironic in his 250th game. And we only had a 22-point lead at half time. I thought it was a little bit disappointing, but we had a good start to the game with the first quarter, but the second quarter I thought we kind of dropped off just a little bit especially heading into half time. Third quarter I thought we hit back nicely after what was a up and down second quarter, I thought, because the third quarter we really did hit back strongly. Roughhead took a fantastic mark, which is something he's done at various stages this year. He scored, of course. We know that sometimes his kicking can't be good. We experienced that at various points this season, but he was able to kick the goal. There was a superb play by Caleb Daniels. He snatched the ball out of the player's hands and just went off to the lolly shop and goaled. It was fantastic by Caleb Daniels. He was playing a very, very good game, as well as Liam Picken. Now, there was a little bit of controversy in this third quarter as well. Easton Wood landed on his ankle, Luke Beveridge, they showed a shot on Fox Footy of Luke Beveridge. He couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Not another injury, seriously. These injuries are getting ridiculous, but you'll be happy to know that scans revealed today that no bone's been broken, and he will be definitely trying his 100% hardest, and it definitely is possible that he could get back for week one of the finals, our first final game against whoever that might be. So that was good news today. But anyway, Lockie Hunter, gold after that moment, and we actually had a good 41-point lead in the at three-quarter time, and then in the fourth quarter, the Dons scored the first two of the last term. Didn't think we got off to the best of starts, but Clay Smith did hit back. Tom Boyd was able to pass it to Dixon through an Essendon turnover in the fourth quarter and converted it into his third goal. So Tory Dixon, he had a fantastic game on the score sheet, kicked the first two of our goals and then kicked a third goal in the fourth quarter. We won by 40 points in the end. And well-deserved win. I thought we did do enough to win the game. I thought Essendon were playing catch-up footy for most of the game, especially with our first quarter start. Even though they got back within 22 points at half-time, we were able to steer away in the third quarter and steer it away to a good 40-point lead. The final score was Essendon 7-11-53, defeated by our mob, the Western Bulldogs, 14-9. 93. As I mentioned, Dixon kicked 3, Daniel kicked 2. He had a blinder of a game. I can't believe how good of a game he had. It was fantastic, but it shouldn't be a surprise. He's done that consistently throughout the season. He's probably the most consistent player at our club, to be honest. He just seems to perform week in, week out, and I'll tell you what, he has to get the Rising Star, surely. If he doesn't get it, I don't know. But anyway, Tom Boyd, that is, Wood, Picken, Cordy, McLean, Roughhead, Hunter, Lockie Hunter, and Clay Smith got singles each. The best players, Johannesson got best on ground for us in the Western Bulldogs. Best players, Daniel, Bontempelli, Picken, Jong, Hunter and Boyd, rounding out the best players there. Definitely all deserved. So, as I mentioned, Easton Wood did his ankle, but probably, definitely, most certainly won't go to Subiaco next week or this week, but should be right, hopefully, for our first game in the finals for this year. So, good win there. We did what we had to do to win, and I can be proud of that. And, of course, we can't drop the ball next week. We have to be able to go to Domain Stadium and really win that game. I'll talk about that a bit later on in the episode. But let's go to my votes. Okay, time now to have a look at my votes for the After the Dogs Roar Best and Fairest Award for 2016. And, of course, this is my votes for the round 22 clash v Essendon. And I'm going to start with my one vote to Jason Johannesson. He had a fantastic game, 31 disposals, kicked 2 behinds, probably should have converted at least one of them. He got 27 kicks, 4 handballs. He was a fantastic, influential player on the ground at Etihad Stadium on Sunday. It was fantastic, yeah, he's just backing up what great form he showed before that injury, because after he's come back from injury, he's continued that form. If not, he's become better than that form in the first half or before he got injured. So a very big deserved 1 vote there to Jason Johannesson. 2 votes to Liam Picken. He had a blinder of a game, superb game, fantastic on the field. Probably unlucky to miss out on the 3 votes, but I'll tell you who bet him or who defeated him in getting the 3 votes in just a moment. But Liam Picken, 33 disposals, 15 kicks, 18 handballs, collected a 137 score of fantasy points. He was fantastic. He was really influential. I think there was one moment where he went to the back line, and then all of a sudden he was up the other end of the 50 metre in the forward 50. His work rate seems to be there and seems to be at a high level, which is fantastic. Which is what we want at our club. It's fantastic. He's had a superb year so far. Probably the votes don't show it, but he has had a superb year at our club this season. And then 3 votes, I had to give it to our one of our Rising Star nominees, Caleb Daniel. I thought, just from start to finish, he was absolutely electric. And I'm not sure if this is the best game he's played this season, because like I said before, he's one of those consistent players that just has been playing consistent football throughout the entire year. I don't think he's even had a bad game yet this year. Even if it's just the 1%ers, he just seems to influence a game and seems to perform week in, week out, which is just fantastic. It's what I like about Caleb Daniel. And like I said, he has to be rewarded with the Rising Star. I can't think of a better player. You know, Darcy Parish maybe. There's obviously Wittering there. I can't think of any others. There's obviously a couple more that are in the mix there as well. Of course, Sicily from Hawthorn. I suppose you could chuck him in there. But I feel like Caleb Daniel's the most consistent player out of any of the Rising Star nominees. That's just my opinion. So Caleb Daniel, 23 disposals by the way, he kicked 2 goals. Very, very superb in front of goals, of course. Like I mentioned, he snatched one out of the hands to actually create one of his goals, which was just fantastic. So Caleb Daniel, well-deserved 3 votes. Well done to you, mate. Okay, time now to get into the stats wrap-up for after round 22. I'll start with the leading goal kickers, as I normally do. Jake Stringer leads with a 10-goal lead with 37. Second is Tory Dixon on 27. Marcus Bonampelli in third on 22. Jack Redpath is fourth on 20th. And then finally Tom Liberatore is fifth on 13. We've got the leading disposals. Lockie Hunter leads the disposals on 611. You would probably say he's going to win it from here, but you never know. Matthew Boyd, 522 in second. Marcus Bonampelli in third on 513. We have fourth, Jack McRae on 586. And then Liam Picken on 473 in fifth. We then have the leading marks. Matthew Boyd leads the marks on 139, but not far behind him is Lockie Hunter. Can Lockie Hunter do enough to win the leading marks? I'm not sure. Matthew Boyd has been taking some incredible marks week in and week out, which is fantastic to see. Eastonwood third on 104. You'd think that he won't be able to catch the leader now, considering that he's going to be out next week. Liam Picken in fourth on 97, and then Shane Biggs rounds out the top 5 on 90. We then have the leading tackles. Marcus Bonampelli leads the tackles on 103. Tom Liberatore on 92 in second. Liam Picken on 89 in third. Jack McRae in fourth on 86. And then finally, Luke Dalhouse on 82 in fifth. So that is the stats wrap-up. I'm going to be wrapping up the stats wrap-up for the last time next week, and we'll see who wins those 4 categories. Now let's get to the ladder. We currently stand in 7th position, just like last week, and we have got a massive game next week against Fremantle that we must win, because the West Coast Eagles, I believe that they're going to go to Adelaide Oval and lose that game. They'll put up a good fight, but I reckon the Crows, they're a good outfit. I reckon they'll win against the Eagles at their home ground of Adelaide Oval. I'm not too confident the Giants can win against North Melbourne. I know North Melbourne have been pretty seedy in the last a few weeks since they got those 9 in a row wins. But I saw them last week, and at various stages they were okay. So I believe that they might be able to beat the Giants at Etihad Stadium. If it was at Spotless, I'd be saying a different story. But maybe North Melbourne can win that. So if North Melbourne win and the West Coast Eagles lose, and if the GWS Giants lose and the Crows win, we could go right up to 5th. But if just one of those teams, if one of those teams lose, then we will be guaranteed a home final, basically. So or a final in Melbourne. So it's a crucial game against the Fremantle Dockers. I remember last year in the last round of the season, Brisbane Lions at the Gabba. We lost that game. That was disappointing. We can't do that again this season. We have to go to Subiaco with the best team we can possibly put forward. I'll talk about this more in our preview of the game against Freo, but we have to go with our best team to the Domain Stadium. So a crucial game coming up this week, of course. The ladder is still very tight in that top 8 position. You'd think the top 4 is probably set now. Yeah, I think the top 4 is set. It's just 5th, 6th and 7th that need to be decided. Okay, time now to get into our round 20 VFL clash. Footscray took on Werribee at Werribee on Sunday, just before our game against Essendon. And by the way, I just want to apologise. I actually said that this was our last game of the season last week. I do apologise. I actually realised midweek that this was our second last game and not our last game. So I do apologise for that, but we dominated this game. I'm not going to go too much into it because we dominated this game. We led from start to finish and we won. 9-10-64 Werribee, defeated by Footscray 18-19, 127. The goal kickers for Footscray, Long kicked 3, Minson kicked 2, Jamison also kicked 2 as well as Hamilton and Campbell. Campbell is back playing in the VFL. He could be back in the side as finals loom. You never quite know. Could be next week. You never know. Greenwood singles along with Dalglish, Adcock, Dale, Honeychurch, Barry and Stringer. By the way, my opinion on Stringer being in the VFL, I think it was a good decision. He hasn't been good enough in the AFL and in our senior team of late. He needs to go back to the VFL and find form. If that was another player not performing as well, they would also be put in the VFL. So Stringer's no different. Just because he's a superstar, if he's not performing, he will go to the VFL, and that's exactly what Beveridge did. So well done to Beveridge, because I think he needed... That's not criticising him or anything, but I think he just needed to go to the VFL. Just find some form, because finals are coming up, and we can't afford players to drop the ball. So Stringer seems to be finding form from what I heard, seemed to find form on Sunday in our VFL game. The best players, Adcock, Honeychurch, Williams, Dalglish, Minson and Hamilton. And the ladder states that we currently sit 5th on the VFL ladder. We've got a game coming up this week, which is our last game, round 21, against Collingwood, who are on top of the table. Of course, you would probably think that Cloak won't be playing in that VFL game, because Buckley did say tonight that he won't be playing. He'll be playing in the senior side. But yeah, we've already beaten a couple of top sides, Casey Scorpions and Williamstown, so we can do this. We can win. It's at Whitten Oval. It's a crucial last game of the season in the VFL. I cannot wait for this one. So it's Saturday, 12 p.m. And if you're not doing anything on Saturday, then do go to it, because it could be it's going to be a great game. It is a crucial game. Okay, time now to get into our flashback for this week. I debuted the segment, as you might remember, on last week's episode. I got some mixed reactions, so I fine-tuned this segment ready to go for this week. And I tell you what, this game is a beauty. We're going back to the AFL season of 2000. We're going to round 21, where we played Essendon at Colonial Stadium. Now, Essendon, it's fair to say, were the benchmark team of that season. And in fact, going into this season, they had won 20 straight. So they were top of the table and undefeated going into this game. So we had a big task on our hands to defeat one of the benchmark sides of that season. Actually, the benchmark side of that season. So we had a good squad. We were pumped. We were ready to go for this game, going into this game at Colonial Stadium. Can we win this game? Well, let's go to the highlights and find out. Leading the call is the legend himself, Bruce McAvaney.
King kick a goal from the pocket, a bit cheekily, good-looking kick, it's a chance, it's a goal, they've got a goal.
That's why he's in the side for Bruce.
He loves playing on like in these situations, but he's probably close enough to take a pot.
Good kick, that is a great kick.
Penalty too in the context of the way this game is going to be played.
And he's put it through.
Kicks it well.
Let's see if Eagles and Kenny, he'll hook it a bit, runs out now, good looking kick.
That's home.
It's got the legs, it's there, he's kicked the goal. Stop and prop, this is bad footy, Long can make them pay. Can he expose it to Lloyd, and then Lloyd bangs it, and bangs it home for beauty.
Once again, I'll bow to you.
Right forward pocket. Bartlett, liver. He's slotted it through. It's a goal. Fletcher, Alessio, they don't have that crummer. That was the problem. Now they do. They've got the best in the business.
What's he done?
He's going to kick a goal. Lloyd. Gee, McCurry, what were you doing?
Do you know what the problem was there?
After a close first quarter, the Western Bulldogs were able to take a 5-point lead into quarter time. However, Essendon, they changed that early in the second quarter.
If they reckon you don't win games in the gym room, that's where you...
That was a great kick and a great mark.
About the player who was dropping into the zone, he put it up over him and let him jump into it.
This will put the Bombers in front for the first time tonight if he kicks it. He has got it. Carousella within range. Gee, how good was Lloyd?
Oh, he's played on.
Forced to go on, and then kicks to the pocket. Alessio back there.
That's a goal. That's accidentally hit his foot for a goal.
These are the numbers. Let's keep it corridor. The last 3 kicks have been there.
Beautiful kick.
And they've just backed themselves in with the ability to win the ball.
2 weeks, and significantly, he got the 6 out of 11 against the Blues, Garlic.
Yep. He's a good matchup up forward, isn't he? And he's another bloke who can play midfield.
So the angle's not difficult. It's a fair roost from 48. Good looking kick. They've got to do it all night if they're going to win.
That's why you don't need to change the plan.
Oh, you're kidding.
Have a look at that.
You are kidding.
That's there. That is there. I didn't give him much hope then.
He's gone. Second time Liver's got it.
Now, why wouldn't you pass it to Buick, who's 20 metres in front of you all on his own?
It's a good question. Liver's kick, Carousella, Bartlett, important. Now Johnson's missed one. Coming back. It's a great kick. Liberatore, you take that. He's Hutto there, hasn't he? Then kicks to Bartlett.
That's a great kick.
Bartlett, still Bartlett. Good give, Johnson. It's a goal. It's a wonderful goal.
It's a draw.
Brad Johnson kicked the last 2 goals of the second quarter to level things at 7-3 apiece. But look at this. Things exploded at half-time after a Barnes-Johnson hit. Look at this. They are into it.
He can't stand up, Brad Johnson, unfortunately. I think he's been concussed. He had the jelly legs when he got up.
Did you see it, Dipper?
No, I didn't see it, Bruce. No, not at all.
Oh, look at that.
Crediuk and Lloyd having a go at it.
The doggies have got him rattled here. Have we got a second half coming up?
Gee, I think
he's been split open, Liver. He wants a report. He wants somebody's game put off by them being reported.
Do you reckon they're going to come out firing bullets after half-time?
Oh, this is a game of footy and half.
See, Brad Johnson's really angry down here. The Dodgers are trying to keep him away. He just wants revenge.
The Western Bulldogs got off to a good start in the third quarter with Simon Garlick earning a free kick and goaling to put the Dogs in front early on.
Clever.
They've got it. Element stiff. Hudson read it well.
Oh,
can he draw someone to him? Bartlett didn't quite get there. He's got Ramiro. He found him. Ramiro's going to Bartlett. He's in the pocket. He's on the stretch. He can kick a goal. And he does.
Big fella.
What a goal.
Again, the good kick coming in that just allowed Dustin Fletcher to have the run and jump.
It's pretty silly stuff by Crediuk, isn't it?
Yes, for this big fella.
Crucial kick.
He's kicked 2 tonight. It's coming back. It's coming back. He's kicked 3. He's only kicked 1 goal in his last 5 matches, Buick. He's had a different role, of course, this year.
He's got it.
Beautiful kick.
Something along the lines of "you weak dog," but maybe a little bit more colourful than that. It's a good strong mark, and there you see it. He cops the left arm to the head. She only snuck the kick in. And hope for something to open up or try and pinpoint a lead.
You just can't even visualise anything unfolding.
For Fletcher's the target, he won't go. Oh!
Unfield!
It's a magnificent mark.
Beautiful.
Can he top it off with a great goal?
Well done, son.
Match of the
They're
night.
going to have to answer another one still to get home though, Bruce.
No doubt, as we build up to that great grand final day at the Melbourne.
Essendon had a strong lead at three-quarter time. The Dogs, well, they had a lot of work to do. However, it didn't quite start in their favour early in the fourth quarter. Let's go to the fourth quarter highlights.
Both of them glorious, really. And if he kicks a goal here, what an impact he's had on this match.
Would this be the biggest margin if he kicks this, Bruce?
It will, and he has. Granted well, and then might have done it. It's close. Oh, has he got it? Here, the kick to Dooley. Now Hudson's the man.
Oh,
Dooley to Hudson. He's got Hudson outside. Doesn't go for him. Mongrels at the full forward, and a wonderful mark by Bartlett.
Outside of him for the one-on-one
There's
contact.
one
Well,
So he can't take the kick.
He fell on his head in the end, and he knew he was going to wear it, but he's worn it for a This will be half to the Bulldogs' advantage here. He is spent out of petrol tickets here, Bartlett. That's why he's in the square.
Gee, that's a good mark. Colin kicks this. He puts them within 10, getting deepish into the last quarter.
I don't think they're worried about the margin, Bruce. They're worried about the result, the Bombers.
They sure are. They've won 20 straight. No team has ever won 21 in the minor round. Colin kicks the goal. Dooley did well. Eagleton, can he get on? He doesn't look fully fit. Chris Grant, well done. Eagleton to West. Can he break it? Goes back to Eagleton. An important kick. He's got Colin He's got him. Who's better to have it either? This is counter-punching at its very best, what the Bulldogs are doing here. What a big kick. Got it. He's kicked through.
What a big game.
Out of everything they need. A long coming off. Off hands. Fletcher out in the full.
It is two.
Out on the full from Fletcher.
How many mistakes can the Bombers make?
36th position.
Over left foot.
He kicked the goal to bring him back into the game.
Got
it's
it.
a great kick. He's kicked it. A magnificent effort to Colin. Colin hooks it back. Rowan Smith's come onto the ground. They've done it. Won it.
That gets them in the finals.
The Doggies are in the finals, and the great run has come to an end. Remarkable scenes here. Now Brad Johnson is running the goal to Smith. Brad Johnson's running up to Barnesy in the pot.
He's run the length of the field, and he's giving it to him.
Gee, that is
symbolic.
So there you go, one of the greatest games in the Western Bulldogs era. It is no doubt a big memory in the mind to defeat an undefeated team in an AFL season. And what made it even more extraordinary to me, or for me anyway, was what happened at the end with Brad Johnson and Barnes. Brad Johnson, he just went straight over to Barnes and just gave it to him. It was unbelievable. So, very good game, that one. A memorable game, as I mentioned. And the final score was Essendon 12-9-81. Defeated by the Western Bulldogs 14-8-92 by 11 points. The goal kickers, Colinac kicked 3, Grant Garlick Johnson kicked 2 each, and then Bartlett, Brown, Eagleton, Liberatore, Tony Liberatore and Rowan Smith kicked singles each in that game. So that is our flashback for this week. Do leave your feedback in the comments of this video or in the forum if you're watching. I would be very happy and very keen to listen to everyone's feedback on this week's take of the flashback. Okay, so time now to get into our round 23 clash. We verse Fremantle, as I've mentioned throughout the entire episode, and this game is on Sunday the 28th of August at 4:40 PM at Domain Stadium. You can watch it live on Fox Footy if you're not travelling to the game. And like I've said, it is going to be a crucial game, this one, because win this and we could possibly most likely get a home elimination final. I think the top 4 is relatively out of the question, but we can still place 5th or 6th and get that home elimination final. So that's what we're playing for here. That's what's on the line. Of course, like I mentioned, last year we went to the Gabba in the last round of the season and lost that game, so we can't do that again. We just can't, because otherwise it will prove costly. We'll have to travel. So it's a must-win game for us, of course. Now, whether Jake Stringer comes back into the side this week, I'm not quite sure, but I think Campbell will probably be considered for this week, as well as a couple of others. Of course, Wood going out leaves room for someone to come in. I'm not sure how Suckling's going, but hopefully he's right soon. So, big game. Big game. And that is it for another episode of After the Dogs Roar. Thank you very much for joining me. Of course, don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe as well, because, well, if you're an all-round footy fan like me, you will love the Ultimate AFL show. I upload that every Thursday, and in fact, the finals are nearly here, so that show will be hotting up with lots of finals content. So do subscribe to view that show and keep up to date with that show. And I've also got some other things coming up on the channel as well, some other sporty things. If you like your horse racing, then you'll love what's coming up this week with the big Group 1 racing show kicking off for the 2016-17 racing season. So that's all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this week's show, and until next week, I'm Jacob. Hope the Dogs win. Go Dogs!